A lot of people have fear, anxiety, worry about being isolated, betrayed, confusion, just lost and worry. And it's normal. As you see, there's a rise in mental health issues, and it's because, hey, it's the unique Shanique of Conscious Coaching Shanique, helping you go from trauma to triumph, as I have as well and continue to do, because I also am not perfect. This journey is for life. And we are meant to be happy, to be peaceful, to be abundant on this earth. And the best way that we can achieve that goal is by adhering to the Word of God. Even if we don't do it perfectly, as close as we can get, I have realized is the way to go. What I have done in the past is self-healing, self-love, self, because I had to pour into myself, as you probably have noticed along your journey. You had to do the affirmations, you had to do the morning gratitude, you had to upgrade yourself physically, you've had to diet, whatever it is. You've had to change your mindset. You've had to separate from people who weren't in your best interest. You've had to do so much on your own. And if you've gotten past that point already, then you are now at the point where you can love others. You are now at a healed point where you can accept others' love, truly, deeply, wholeheartedly, and not only from other people or the kids or whoever, but from God. And as someone who was personally upset with God, religion, religious people, and speaking to people who have also felt that way, I know for a fact that the reason is because of trauma. You are hurting inside, or were hurting inside, and you just can't fathom God's love when you don't know love, when you can't feel love, when you don't see love around you. So I want to take this to Micah, right? A lot of people have fear, anxiety, worry about being isolated, betrayed, confusion, just lost and worry. And it's normal. As you see, there's a rise in mental health issues, and it's because, end of times, it's circular. As my husband says, the economics, it always goes down, then it goes up, then it goes down, then it goes up. Right now we're going through it down. And it's not only the economics of our land that is in trouble, but it's also the fact that we have a rise in mental health issues, and we are seeing people who have to deal with people who are not saved, not right in the mind, don't know what's going on, who are basically unconscious, right? They're unconscious because they don't understand that there is a way to feel better. They don't understand that there is salvation and that we can have peace. But you are conscious. Your friends hopefully are conscious. And if not, we're going to help each other get there today. And be more conscious and just have more faith and understand that things will get better and that nothing horrible is here to stay. And also, we need to be conscious about the fact that when things are great, we cannot just let things slide. One thing here, one thing there, and then before we know it, we're back in sin, or we're back doing the things that we said we weren't going to do, or we're back hanging out with someone who we said we weren't going to give a second chance to, or we just aren't pouring into ourselves spiritually as we should. So, I really like this part in Micah 7, verse 1, and it says, "Woe to me, I am like one who after the gathering of summer fruit and the gleaming following a grape harvest finds no cluster of grapes to eat." So even after the work, you get nothing. "No early figs that I crave. The loyal one has perished from the earth," and we see that. Who's loyal anymore? It's very hard to find. "Among men there is no one upright. All of them lie in ambush for bloodshed." Politicians. All of them lie. "Each hunts his own brother with a dragnet." Killing amongst family. Evil eye. Their hands are expert at doing what is bad. Witchcraft. Lying, stealing, sneaking around on Instagram. The prince is making demands. The judge asks for a reward. Has anyone else seen judges that get pulled over by cops and threaten the cops and ask them, do you know who I am? They ask for a reward. The prominent one makes known his desires, and they work it out together. Wow. Just the top dogs looking out for the top dogs. Their best one is like thorns. Their most upright one is the worst. Okay? It is worse than a thorn hedge. The day of your watchman and your reckoning will come. Now they will panic. So here we are now. Do not put faith in your companion or trust a close friend. Guard what you say to the one who lies in your embrace. For a son despises his father, a daughter rises up against her mother, a daughter-in-law is against her mother-in-law. A man's enemies are the men of his household. But as for me, I will keep on the lookout for Jehovah. So, if we keep our eyes on the prize, which is God in our lives, and adhere to the way we can live our life successfully, we will be all right. Right? So, what does the Bible say about anxiety? Because a lot of people have a lot of anxiety, right? There's a lot of things going on in the world that you're dealing with, and it gets stressful. It's stressful when you are somewhere and you want to connect with people and you can't because you're anxious. Or it's stressful for my singles out there who want to make those connections, but you're nervous, right? Or maybe you're anxious about what's to come when you look and see the tides of times changing. Anxiety is nothing new in the Bible or to God. And it's definitely something that those who have survived trauma deal with a lot. Now, some things that help with anxiety are definitely coming back to the body, right? Deep breathing. Eating right for you to keep your cortisol levels where they need to be. Getting enough exercise. Getting proper fruits and vegetables helps. Sticking to a regimen. Journaling. Getting your emotions out, talk therapy, fidget toys, those also help with anxiety. What does not help with anxiety is alcohol, pot, and what am I forgetting? Alcohol, drugs. The other thing people use for anxiety, withdrawing. Those things do not help, because when you're anxious and you withdraw, you make yourself more available to, I don't want to sound woohoo, dark forces that see your pain. People that see your pain and want to act like they care and they don't. Or you just get left alone and the wrong one whispers the right thing in your mind, and before you know it, you're suicidal. Before you know it, you're depressed. Before you know it, you're thinking up an evil scheme to do on someone who has caused you so much anxiety in your life. Instead of relying on the Lord, praying, bringing our broken pieces at the foot of the righteous one who spiritually fills us and makes us so happy within. So, in Psalms 55, verse 22, it says, "Throw your burden on Jehovah, and he will sustain you. Never will he allow the righteous ones to fall." Proverbs 21, verse 5, "The plans of the diligent surely lead to success, but all who are hasty surely head for poverty." Isaiah 41, verse 10, "Do not be afraid, for I am with you. Do not be anxious, for I am your God. I will fortify you. Yes, I will help you. I will really hold on to you with my right hand of righteousness." Right? All of this is just so encouraging. Like, a lot of people say religion is just scary and don't sin, don't sin, don't sin. But there are so many verses where we see God's love for people, right? And we have to make sure that we look at those. Like Matthew 6, verse 27. Who of you, by being anxious, can add 1 cubit to his lifespan? So being anxious does not add to our lives. And I remember thinking of how anxious I used to be to speak to people. I was a very shy person as a child. And this is just an example of one form of anxiety. And speaking to people will scare the life out of me. Mostly because I knew that if I would reach out, we might connect, but they will see that I am weird. They will see that I speak properly. They will see that I have like Asperger's or autism or something. I just speak oddly, and I focus on certain topics that most don't. And, I just felt like they would see that I'm weird and not want to be my friends anymore. But who cares? As I've gotten older, I realize most people are interested in themselves anyway. And if someone does not connect with you, you have to have the faith, courage, and understanding that that it's a numbers game, connecting with people. You just got to keep connecting, and you will find your golden tribe. But if you connect with 10 people and all 10 of them say, you aren't worthy of connecting with me, most people get downtrodden and their heart aches. And now they're anxious around the next person because they don't know how it's going to go. But the Bible tells us that we need not be anxious. Being anxious does not serve us at all. Being anxious does not get us more friends. Being anxious will not get us closer to the one we're meant to be. Being anxious is not going to solve our money problems, our health problems. Being anxious does nothing but bring down our energy. So never be anxious about the next day, for the next day will have its own anxieties. Each day has enough of its own troubles. And that's Matthew 6, verse 34. Right? There's always going to be something wrong. And if you know that, and if you trust that in the day there will be problems that are going to arise, you won't be nervous or worried when it comes, because you'll be prepared for it. And you understand the keys to overcome it, right? It's just like clouds passing by in the sky. You know a cloud will come and you know the cloud will go. There is no reason to worry or be sad or sit in your room feeling any type of way or any type of unworthiness or worried about when will be your time. For those of you who are anxious about when you will receive your partner, there is no need to be anxious. Just keep praying about what you want. Put yourself out there. Be available. Be true to you. And things will fall into place divinely. Make sure of the more important things. Philippians 1 verse 10. There are so many other things you can be doing in life. Like maybe taking swimming lessons this summer, learning how to scuba dive, learning how to snorkel, taking skiing lessons in the winter, or taking a cooking class to learn how to cook some Jamaican food. I'm in Jamaica right now, so everything's kind of tailored that way. And connecting with people who see the value in you, or drawing closer to your Bible, whatever that Bible is for you. There's so many more things that you can be focusing on other than worrying about the next move, worrying about the next day. When you worry about the future, it takes you out of the present, and the present is a gift, right? So worry not. Even though this world is going downhill, even though people are becoming worse, you must understand that there is a nation of people rising up, going from trauma to triumph, and these people are golden. Camera died, but I'm back. Fear not, my conscious thrivers. Everything is going to work out for you. Everything will work out for you if you keep your eyes on the prize. And I just want to say a little prayer because it's a beautiful day, right? It's a beautiful day every day. And no matter what we are going through in life, no matter how many times they knock us down, we will always get up. And what do I mean by being knocked down? I don't want people to think like my life is horrible or something like that. But every little dig, every little dagger, or every little setback, like your plane getting delayed, or you not getting the job you applied for, or maybe someone not returning your phone call, or that relationship not working out, or maybe you've been working so hard on a business and you're still only seeing like 2K a month, little things like that. I still call it spiritual warfare. Because if there are things that you are not getting, that you are destined to get, it causes some type of feeling within. Like you feel like, why not? Right? And I don't think that's a bad feeling to have. I think it's good to care. It's good to strive. It's good to want. It's good to have goals. Because when you lose hope of a dream, when you stop dreaming, when you stop having faith, when you stop believing, that is when your soul dies. That's when your soul is empty and you have no purpose for living. And that is when we get into carnal, just seeking carnal things, because you have no other goals. So your only goal is to have fun, right? Or to forget, or to get numb. And lots of people, I say this all the time. There are a certain number of things people do when they lose hope, which I don't want you to do. And when people lose hope, they just stop caring. Do not stop caring. Keep going. Don't overeat. Don't over Netflix or overindulge in things that aren't pouring into you unless you're watching something that benefits you. Be conscious. You can eat. Make sure you're eating a salad. You can watch things on TV. Make sure you're watching something beneficial on YouTube. You want to go out and drink with your friends? Fine. Make sure you're drinking a smoothie or maybe a little bit of wine or something. You just need to replace those bad, toxic activities with something that's going to pour into you, specifically when you feel down, specifically when you feel like things aren't going your way, specifically when you feel bored or like, who cares? Let's do this, right? The only acceptable reason to do those things is when you are happy and excited, in my opinion, because I'm not a perfect Christian as yet. I'm a baby Christian, and I like to still have fun. Maybe in a year or two from now, I will change that. We're not really sure about it right now. So people ask, how's your skin so clear? I'm regimented, right? I wake up and drink water. I go to bed. I drink water and then go to bed. I make sure if I'm drinking alcohol, I also have a bottle of water, then an alcohol, a bottle of water, then an alcohol. I don't eat dairy because it's bad for my skin. Like, you have to care about yourself. Now, what if I gave up faith and I was just like, well, nobody loves me anyway. I'm just going to eat what I want, do what I want. Who cares how I look, right? But I have faith that I love me. I have faith that those closest to me, my besties, my family, they love me and they deserve to get the best of me. Right? When you go out, are you giving the best of you? The energy that you're giving? Or are you still anxious and worried about something else? Present yourself like you care. Do not lose faith or hope that things will work out or just get better, or that they will stay great, and that the rug will not be pulled from underneath you. Do not lose hope. Do not lose faith. Stay strong. Internally, have that light and that spark about you when you go about. When you walk into a room and the energy is down, be the light without shame. Leave your worries aside, because like the Bible told us, every day has its anxieties. So if you already know that, you don't have to go into the day sad and looking for it. You know it'll come. Just be happy that you also know it'll go away. Right? Just be happy. Let Psalms 119. Oh, I love that one. Happy are those who are blessed in their way, who walk in the laws of Jehovah. Happy are those who observe his reminders, who search for him with all their heart. They practice no unrighteousness. They walk in his ways. You have commanded that your orders be carefully kept. Now, these are some goals to put on a dream board. We don't have to attain them right now, but we can work towards this. And it'll only lead to us having a better quality of life. If only I could remain steadfast so as to observe your regulations, right? It's so hard. It's so hard to be perfect. And that's all right. We all fall short of the glory. And I don't want you to feel shame for it either. And just because you fall short of the glory does not mean you can't put the title of Christian on your name. Because we are all sinners, and Jesus knows that we are sinners, and all he cares about is us trying to do right. So, then I would not be put to shame. Verse 6. When I consider all your commandments, I will praise you with an upright heart. When I learn your righteous judgments, I will observe your regulations. May you never utterly forsake me. How can a young man keep his path clean? By keeping on guard according to your word. With my whole heart I seek you. Do not let me stray from your commandments. In my heart I treasure up your saying, so that I may not sin against you. May you be praised, O Jehovah. Teach me your regulations. With my lips I declare all the judgments that you have spoken. I rejoice over your reminders. Remember, he loves us. More than over all other valuable things, I will ponder over your orders, meditate in the morning, and keep my eyes on your paths. I am fond of your statutes. I will not forget your word. Deal kindly with your servant, so that I may live and observe your word. This is how you speak to a friend, isn't it? It's just so beautiful. Open my eyes so that I may see clearly. This is a key part that I like to put in my prayers. I always ask for the ability for foresight. I say, help me see what I need to see. Help me hear what I need to hear. Help me feel what I need to feel so that I can move in accordance with you all the time. Because sometimes we don't know what to pray for. So ask him to direct us for what we should be praying about, what we should be doing if we are a servant of the Lord. I am but a foreigner in this land. Do not hide your commandments from me. I am consumed with longing for your judgments at all times. You rebuke the presumptuous, the cursed ones who stray from your commandments. Remove from me scorn and contempt, for I have observed your reminders. Even when princes sit together and speak against you, your servant ponders over your regulations. I am fond of your reminders. They are my advisors. That's your mentor right there and your coach. I lie prostrate in the dust. Preserve me alive according to your word. I told you of my ways, and you answered me. Bring him your anxieties, worries, hopes, and dreams. Teach me your regulations. Make me understand the meaning of your orders, so that I may ponder over your wonderful works. I have been sleepless from grief. Strengthen me according to your word. Remove from me the way of deception, and favor me with your law. The way of the faithfulness I have chosen. I recognize that your judgments are right. And that is key example of being submissive. Just recognizing someone else is right, and you submit to that instead of upon your own understanding. I cling to your reminders. That's verse 31. O Jehovah, do not let me be disappointed. I will eagerly pursue the way of your commandments, because you make room for it in my heart. Verse 33, teach me, O Jehovah, the way of your regulations, and I will follow it to the end. Give me understanding so that I may observe your law. Always ask for wisdom and understanding, and keep it with my whole heart. Guide me in the pathway of your commandments, for in it I take delight. Incline my heart to your reminders, not to selfish again. Turn my eyes away from looking at what is worthless. Preserve me alive in your way. Fulfill your promise to your servant, so that you may be feared. Remove the disgrace that I dread, for your judgments are good. See how I long for your orders. Preserve me alive in your righteousness. May I experience your loyal love, O Jehovah. Isn't that beautiful? Your salvation in harmony with your promise. Then I will reply to the one taunting me, for I put my trust in your word. Do not utterly remove the word of truth from my mouth, for I have hoped in your judgment. I will keep your law constantly, forever and ever. And I will walk about in a place of safety, for I search for your orders. Seek and ye shall find. I will speak about your reminders in front of kings, and I will not be ashamed. I am fond of your commandments. Yes, I love them. I will raise my hand to your commandments, which I love, and I will ponder over your regulations. Remember your word to your servant, through which you give me hope. Hope. This is my comfort in my affliction, for your saying has preserved me alive. I could truly attest that God has given me life again by praying and hoping in him and turning to him when I had no one else to. I mean, of course I had someone, but I felt like no one could do the job like God could. This is my comfort in my affliction, for your saying has preserved me alive. The presumptuous utterly scorn me, but I do not deviate from your law. I remember your judgments from the old, O Jehovah, and I find comfort in them. I am seized with burning rage because of the wicked who forsake your law. Your regulations are songs to me wherever I dwell. During the night I remember your name, O Jehovah, so that I may keep your law. This has been my practice because I have observed your orders. So, what a beautiful prayer. Pray to him for what you want. Ask for guidance and protection. And remember the message of today. You have nothing to fear. Let go of your anxieties, depression, worries about tomorrow, or constant ruminating thoughts about the past. All is working in your favor. May you move forward with spirit and light. I'm the unique Shanique, and I'm complete.